Stan! Here we are. So they reckon, to be a good YouTuber, you've got to grab people's attention in 3 seconds. So you all want to know what that is, don't you? It's not the one I've showed you before. Put it down for a minute. Technology. This camera's just decided to stop working. So I've just done an intro. It stopped working. Put a new card in there to prevent my channel disappearing up its own, like last time. Anyway, don't worry about it. Where was I? Oh, big night in here on Thursday. Finished work. And my cousin came round with my uncle. And they'd never been in the man cave collection for 7 years, so they were in for a bit of a shock when they came in here. Obviously a lot of change in those years. A lot of beer was drank, but a good night. My cousin has got some military for me, some little items which I haven't got, German World War II. It's a shame that my cousin's a historian, amateur historian, borderline, I think, in his own right. He does a lot of things for the local football club, as in the local big one. He has a collection of shirts and stuff. If I could say the club on here, Middlesbrough Football Club, he has a lot of memorabilia. And it is a shame, put my teeth in. I only found out last year at a family wedding he was doing this. And I had the year or two before sold a load of, because I had a brief year or so when I was 13 and I went to the local to watch them. I had loads of programmes, autographs, and I sold it all on eBay. So I thought I had some left. I looked the other day, I haven't, so apologies for that, cousin. A good year for me, collecting wise. Merry Christmas to everybody. Sorry, this video is just a bit of a project updatey type thing. I've got a load of stuff for Christmas, and basically I just couldn't be bothered to do a proper research video today. I just wanted to come on here and talk and drink a light refreshment. So yeah, I mean, you find on YouTube that people come, people go. I've made some real good friends this year through the YouTube. I'm in contact with a lot of people through WhatsApp, email, Facebook, Messenger, and YouTube as well. And all the best to all of yous. A good Christmas. You all know who you are. I don't go through individual names, but I've met some really nice people online. I've traded with, and it's a good thing. It's a good community, online community, to be involved with. I judge people by the fact that I could stand in the pub and have a pint with them, and that's all the lads that I'm in contact with, as long as they're buying, of course. Still understand is, of course, carrying a sidearm today, Webley revolver, just in case. Just in case, nothing really. Just because you can. In the man cave. So, first of all, I'll do the book. Right, so I am due an ordinary life video. I haven't done one for a while, but I will do one. Last one I was half cut. That's not good. I know you think that maybe I'm in here 7 nights a week drinking beer. Not the case. Once or twice a week I have a beer. As I've got older, it really knocks crap out of me nowadays. Which is a shame. I enjoy doing it. Anyway. That's a nice light refreshment. So, this book here, many years ago, 28 years ago, when me and my wife had just got married, we had bugger all, as well as knob all. We had an out, we were skint, you know, just got a mortgage, all that sort of carry on. And I have spent at least 2 Christmases out of work. I mean, like enforced being out of work, like I didn't want to be out of work. There's been other Christmases where I've come to the end of a contract just before Christmas. I've earned, you know, you've been working a lot of hours on a contract, it finishes sometimes away from home. You come home for Christmas, the job's done. You have some money to spend on your family requirements. That's different. When I got this book off my wife, I'd been made redundant in the November, back end of November, middle of November. And it was just a normal paid job. So it wasn't like I had loads of money stashed. So we just got married, so we didn't have anything. And I got made redundant, and then a week later, you know, in my line of work, getting a job that close to Christmas is very difficult. And also I came down with the flu. Not just the sniffles, the flu. And I've had the flu 3 times in my life. It was particularly bad. So my wife, feeling sorry for me, as she always does, probably because she thinks there's something wrong with me. Anyway, she went out and bought me the anniversary VHS of Jaws, which I've still got upstairs, and this book. Now, at the time, I don't know if you ever remember them, there was a lot of like pop-up bookstores, usually oversized, like coffee table books, selling them at knockdown prices, but weren't knockdown prices. This was advertised like 40, 50 quid, but you buy it today, it's 25. And £25 in 1995 was a lot more money than it is now. And she bought it for you. And I was like, God, I'm skinned. She got it for me. And this book, you can see that mark there, that's my thumbprint of constantly flicking. As time's gone on, I've got more specific books, and generally I don't like to go for the, excuse me, rudeness, World War II and call it World War II history, because they're very generic, and I feel like I need more specific. But this one I've kept very close to my heart, and if you open it up, you might be able to see it, how it's like wrinkled, because this used to live in the bathroom, and this was printed in China, so that sort of side of manufacturing already started. This is a Bison book from 1977, so, but it was reprinted in 94, and it's got all the usual, sort of stuff, A to Z, very, very generic book. But in the days before we all got dead sophisticated with our smartphones, I got a smartphone 3 or 4 years ago, and iPads that you can sit on the toilet or sit in the bath with. This used to live in the bathroom wherever I lived. And I just flick. This and other ones. As you can see there, it's a well-worn, thing there, well-worn and well-loved book. And I finally shuffle off this mortal coil that can bury me with it. Yeah, I've learned a lot from that. Very interesting. So, what else are you on about today? What I'm on about is having a little drink of light refreshment. While I'm off, I will convert to the mannequin there. Now, I had an East German signal and torch on the eastern front inverted commas mannequin. Now I've had this for a while now. Daemon. Now I think, but I'm unsure, someone might be able to tell me if this is a German World War II torch. It looks the type. It hasn't got any Waffen stamps on it. But I have seen this, and I can't remember the name of it now. It's a Daemon spotter. So it may or it may not be a German World War II signal and torch. It does have the filters, but it looks more the part than the East German one. Now it does work, but it's a bit sketchy. So I've left the battery out of it. I left the battery in the East German torch. Now what it was missing, the back was the leather strap. And try as I might to try and find a little bit of leather from somewhere, then brainwave time, because being a collector like all of us, you've got stuff laid everywhere. This here is the end of the Denix MP40 Slim, and it fits over the button very nicely. I've just done this now, so what I am going to do, not today, because I'm in here having light refreshment, I'm just going to tuck that over like that and probably drill it, glue it, not into the torch, into the leather. Got some really fine drills, glue it in, so that'll just sit like that. I might do something a bit more fancy actually. Yeah, I might do something a bit more fancy. We'll see on that one. But for the moment, that's just going to sit on the German. I'm going to put him on. Go and put it on now. I'll go and put it on. See if I can get it to go on the button. It should go over the button. Because it's just the opposite way around, isn't it? Of that. It's a bit stiff. Get on. Oh, there you go. There you go. That's, yeah. The leather thing is sticking out. But that's going to obviously change when I do something fancy with it. But that looks, but you won't see it from there. Look, I'll bring it over. Oh man, I found the stand. That were the two things I was looking for. The stand and the Denix doodah. Let's have a look. Can you see that? There you go. That's a lot better. And the East German one is over here, because this one works really well. There you go. So that will all stay there. Right, that's it. Projects abound. So, that is nearly me talking for 9 minutes. I can just talk about anything, can't I? It's funny, my cousin, he's got a higher grade job than me. That makes sense. He's used to talking to a lot of people at work. And he says, put a video camera in front of me. He says, I can't do it. And he has to try and do it for his historical thing with his mates that he does for the football club. And so I'm the other way around me. I've spoken to groups of 20, 25 people in the rugby changing room scenario. I've spoke in front of the whole rugby club. This is your man of the match. Not a speech or anything. Well, put me in front of a camera. I can't shut up. Funny, isn't it? Anyway, so we are having my mother-in-law for 3 days of Christmas. 89-year-old, God bless her. I can't wait. Good fun. Good fun for her. Now, Christmas time, she generally says, Stan, because you're such a nice bloke and the best son-in-law in the world, well, you're just as good as the other two, but you're a nice bloke, I'm going to give you a little bit of money. So she does often give me a little bit of spending money post-Christmas. You know, I always spend out too much at Christmas. So I've been thinking, what am I going to do with it? Because I have the MP40 BB firing version of the MP40 by Umarex, but I also have this. What is it, Stan? Well, this is an Airsoft pistol with a replica sling on it. You see that's a bit loose there. I had to block that port up there for various. I'll tell you the tale of it. I got this many years ago, and before the VCR Act came in, and so I got it in full colour. But I've never been an airsofter, and I've since found out that this isn't probably the best make. If that makes sense. And it didn't break straight away, but it eventually did. Something happened inside, and there was a guy I was working with, and I thought, well, he was a proper airsofter into the full, you know, going out on the weekend in the woods. And I said, well, do you want to buy it off me? And I offered him it cheap, but now I want one of them there. Not very good. I won't name the name of the maker. He said, all you've got to do is go inside and do this to the spring and this to the spring. I tried it, I broke it. Honestly, terrible with me with things like that. So I was sort of half disgusted with it, and I left it up. It was just up there in the gods. And then one day I thought, well, I could age it and take off the obvious airsoft. What I should have done with that is just because there's a knob there for full auto and semi on, because you can have full auto on airsoft in this country. So it's only plastic pellets. Should have took that off and put some catty plastic filler in there. That's glued in there now. It's like a bolt. So I mean, it doesn't really make any difference what it is. The paint was already coming off here, and in other places it was worn. Just simply because it's not a very expensive airsoft version. And I put it on the mannequin, and the magazine kept falling out. So I glued the magazine in place, that won't come out. I took the internals out of it and left it as a sort of deactivated airsoft, I suppose. The slide does move back a bit because of that wobbly handle. Maybe I could do something with it, like maybe araldite that into place, or take it apart and screw into there, or maybe put a dummy spring in some wood so you could move it and move under spring pressure. But to be honest with you, I don't think it's worth that. I don't think it's worth doing that. It hangs on the dummy, and it looks better than the from this side. You know, it looks better than the BB version, steel BB version firing thing, which I did try and age a bit, but I bottled out of it because it's a sometimes you maybe shouldn't. So I mean, the thing about getting back to my mother-in-law, if she gives me any money this year, I might get myself a Denix MP40, simply because, very quickly, very briefly, in this country, people don't sometimes understand. A lot of lads at work watch my channel, and Monday morning will come in and go, oh, Stan, I like that. I didn't know you could own that sort of thing. And as it stands of to 2023, I am not a legal expert. Don't take my advice. It's just what I sort of know of. As far as I'm aware, forget about live firing firearms. Like there is a 2.2 version of this. There's some sort of extension on it. I think the stock has to be welded in place so it's a rifle, I think. But again, I'm not sure. Forget about them. You can't own a real one of these, right? Okay, in live firing visual. Forget about that. In the United Kingdom, me personally, and I've caught some flack off this before, not on YouTube but on forums. I personally think, and I probably catch some flack for saying it on YouTube, that the collecting world and hobbyists like us would benefit from some sort of possible licensing system that covers air guns, replicas, DX, because you're already having to register your DX now if you buy them anyway. And simply because a lot of this is grey area. Again, I'm not a legal expert. As far as I'm aware, Airsoft, you can buy one in full colour if you are an airsofter and you attend so many meetings. If you're not, you have to get them in like a third or a 2/3, like a garish colour. If you've got them before the VCR Act, you can own them. And I believe, this is where it gets a bit grey, that if you, I'm going to sling it over my shoulder, if you own one, you're already owning it, even if you bought it. The offence is committed by the seller. I think that goes the same for replicas. But to get a replica, your defence, you have to be part of a living history group, which I am. But, and this is where it gets weird, I've never tried it, but I've heard that if you are a living history group person or a member of a theatre group, whatever, you've got your card, you've got your insurances, and you try and buy an airsoft, the airsoft people won't let you have it because you're not an airsofter. That's it. you know, that's just, to me, a bit. And also, if you are someone who's got the highest level of civilian firearm certificate, which I can't remember which one it is, it's section 3, I don't know, whatever, you can't buy an airsoft and you can't buy a replica because it's not, you know, it's just. But you can buy Ziak and you can buy the BB firing version. Now, this fires, or would fire if it was working, plastic BBs. All right, fair enough. Full auto. The steel BB firing one that I've got upstairs is only semi-auto, as per legally in this country. You have to provide, it's classed as an air rifle. But now they are making the 1.77 plastic BBs. You get what I mean? So it's just, the difference being, of course, that a real deactivated MP40 will cost you a lot of money, and I'd say probably now it's out of my price range. So this airsoft one, I mean, the stock comes down it and all that carry on. You know, it does look. I've had to screw some bits in place to stop it wobbling about because it's a really old one. But it does look good, doesn't it? I mean, you have to admit that looks all right on the dummy. So I'm not no complaints of what this is good for. The air rifle version, I've had a few shoots in the garden. It's a bit of fun, and it does feel very solid. But it's sometimes I've got replica air guns, I've got DX, and I've got replicas. The replicas are better for if you're sort of in your man cave, they're laid out on display, or you just have a little dry fire. You've got to remember the replica airgun ones actually work in mechanisms that probably don't appreciate being dry fired, if that makes sense. The Denix ones, well, I mean, they can break, but I put a bit of rubber in the front of them. The Denix ones probably suit my purposes more, and they're a bit cheaper. So I don't know, or I might put that money towards getting an MG34. maybe. But yeah, I'll put this back on the dummy where it sits, and I'm quite impressed with that actually. It's not bad, not a bad one. Does it go on that way? Tell you what, I'll do it when I turn the camera off. No mallet will end up on the floor. Yeah, so that's me talking for nearly 18 minutes again, nearly out of breath. So that's me Daemon signal and torch. That's me deactivated airsoft broken Warlanger. And that's my book. The wife got me 28 years ago. Oh, it seems like yesterday, I remember it well. And I have got my sidearm. Just in case one of these mannequins starts something, it'll get a 177 pellet between it. Oh, they haven't got any eyes, have they? No, they haven't. Anyway, right, so this is Stan, and I won't be making another video before Christmas, but maybe after. I've got some stuff coming. Another German helmet, a real one, and the mystery surprise thing that some people know about, some people don't, and some medals. I'll be able to spend the next few weeks doing them. So this is Stan, all the best to yous, and whatever you're doing, enjoy yourself. And I will, of course, I was going to use that button, I haven't got to bother. I will, of course, see you